This is Cigar Reflections, a podcast on faith, hope, love, and healing, with just a touch on cigars. I'm your host, Dave, aka Greybeard. Welcome. Welcome to episode 0. I've been toying back and forth with what I wanted to do for my very first episode of Cigar Reflections. So, after talking with a couple of different friends, it really came down to us just putting together a quick little episode of what Cigar Reflections are. A lot of people have come to me and said, "Why are you doing yet another podcast on cigars?" And this isn't on cigars. This is about reflections that I have while sitting out on my balcony or talking with friends around cigars. So what is Cigar Reflections to me? Cigar Reflections to me is a time for me to just look back on certain situations, certain thoughts, certain conversations, or maybe particular Bible verses or devotionals that I've read. It's going to be focused on faith, hope, love, and healing, as you've heard from the introduction. So not to go into repeat all of that. But it's something that really resonates with me, as I've always been the kind of a person to look back and think about ways to approach life and ways to improve myself. In fact, I remember probably 30 years ago where what could be considered my first cigar reflection. And I was smoking a cigar when these thoughts came to me. And it was all about how to address problems in our lives and how it's all about an attitude. And if we could just change the word of something that we're facing is no longer a problem, but it's a challenge, then we might be giving ourselves a little bit of a way to approach it a little bit more positively and with our strong foot forward, so to speak. Because it's natural for us to feel a sense of accomplishment when we overcome a challenge. But when we make it through a problem, we kind of sometimes have a sense of feeling of overwhelming anxiety. Sometimes we can have a sense of defeat, even though we came through that problem, because we're looking at it negatively. So anyways, that was the very first one. And I really wrote that down on paper. So how did Cigar Reflections start? Well, so you just heard, I guess that could be considered the very first one. However, really the start was back in June or July of 2020. And I was out on my balcony smoking a cigar. And in fact, the thoughts came to me about expectations that we place on other people, expectations that we place on ourselves. And so let me just read this to you for a moment, okay? So this is what I wrote on, I think it was July 31st, 2020. Not 19, but anyways, you get it. It goes like this. I'm not perfect. I'm going to say the wrong thing while caught up in the moment. I'm going to forget to do something or say something at the right moment. I am probably going to do something unintentionally that will make you sad or hurt you. When I do, however, I will own up to it and say, I am sorry. Here's the thing that we have forgotten in our society, is that we expect more out of others than we expect out of ourselves. We expect perfection when we ourselves aren't able to give it. We expect justice for others when we ourselves run away and hide from it. Understand that forgiveness does not free you from your wrong, but rather frees the one forgiven you from the anger, hurt, or grief that you caused. So when you make a mistake, and you will, say you're sorry with remorse, meaning that you're going to put forth every effort not to repeat it, and without excuses, and then forgive yourself. Stand up to whatever justice may be coming your way. In other words, the saying, you do the crime, you do the time, so stand up to it. own your actions and grow from them into being a better person. So without going a lot into that, because that would be what a Cigar Reflections show would be about, it kind of gives you a little bit of an insight as to what we're going to be talking about on Cigar Reflections. What do I hope to get from this? Well, I hope to grow myself. I want to grow as a person. I want to grow as a man for my family, for my kids. As a partner, husband, spouse, for whoever it is that God may lead to me. I want to grow as a man for my community, for my work. And what else I hope to get out of it? I hope to see that if just one person can grow or just think and start a conversation based upon these reflections, then that's everything to me. So I hope you join us on this journey through Cigar Reflections, where it's going to be about faith, hope, love, and healing, with maybe a talk about cigars now and then. So until next time, I'm Greybeard, and have a good day.
Gripped, an inspiring story of a believer's challenge-filled journey of finding restoration. It is a story to equip and empower you to find the same. As you dive into this adventure story, you will see and feel all of the gripping things behind the veil. And as you do, leave your fear far behind, my friend, for victory is ahead. Pick up your copy of Gripped anywhere books are sold. This has been a production of K2 Media.